Hi everybody. Just want to do this video. I've been wanting to do this for quite some time now. Um, and this is going to be about the autonomic nervous systems that we have in our body. This doesn't have anything to do with my as above, so as within, so without flat Earth theory. This is straight up just human anatomy and just some concepts that mankind is going through right now. So, the autonomic nervous system, the ANS, is sub-unconsciously controlled in response to physical, mental, and environmental changes in order to maintain homeostasis, which is basically normal operation of the human body. You have two of those. One of them is the sympathetic ANS. That's also known as the fight or flight nervous system. It responds to a perceived threat. Okay, so this can be anything. All right, it's just um, whatever the mind has been conditioned to, and then also what nature has created within us to perceive as a threat. It can be anything really, and like I said, through mind control, brainwashing programming, we can be conditioned to perceive anything as a threat really. So that could be limitless. Runs on epinephrine and norepinephrine. Those are hormones activating the adrenergic receptors, uh, which in turn also activates the adrenal glands, releasing adrenaline. This increases heart rate, constricts blood flow to certain areas like the digestive system and certain muscles, and you usually experience like muscle contraction, eyes dilate. It's basically like a person getting ready to fight. Um, and here's like a little diagram. It doesn't illustrate all the stuff, but it does go over some of the stuff. I'm about to go over the parasympathetic here. Parasympathetic ANS, aka rest and digest. It's a response to relaxation, the lack of threats, and it runs on acetylcholine, activating cholinergic receptors. Your muscles relax, your heart rate decreases, promotes healing. So if we look at these two diagrams here, you can see eyes dilate, decreased heart rate in parasympathetic, increased heart rate in sympathetic, vasoconstriction in sympathetic, basically all the digestive system gets shut down for the most part when it's on. The peristalsis, that means that's smooth muscle flows. Smooth muscle is muscles that we don't control. You cannot consciously control your smooth muscles. It's the muscles that basically operate things like valves. It operates stuff like your intestines, um, and like hair follicles. Those little smooth muscles in your follicles. Uh, you can see here parasympathetic stimulates bile release, digestion, like I said. You also have increased urination, decreased urination when you're in the sympathetic response. So remember, these are responses. These are your body's always doing it, but it's a subconscious thing. All right. Um, So average human heart rate has changed. If we go back hundreds of years ago, the average resting heart rate for a human was around 60 beats per minute. Now it's about 80 beats per minute. And this is a response to activity levels, right? Health, stress, environmental. All this stuff is a factor in the new definition of what a resting heart rate is for a person. Um, so got to ask the question, what is a threat? Okay, and then, what is a threat to you? And then what is it? What was a threat? And it doesn't. And we can go back maybe 20 years ago. What was a threat then for you? Okay, now let's go back 50, 100, or 1,000 years ago. What were threats back then? Okay, so if we look at now, we got things like money, bills, work, losing in general, just losing anything, like video games or anything. It's stressful, and it triggers certain responses in your body. Not owning something, materialism, looming economic problems, looming things that are on edge is a huge issue. Retirement savings, this is a big one, right? Huge problem right here. Very underrated, I think, as a stress factor, because that is I see as a relatively new phenomena. Um, and oppression, I mean, that's common sense, right? Oppression, uh, just basically living in dystopian cultures and societies. And if you notice that a large part of these things are future and looming based phenomena, something that's going to happen. And there's so many of those things that are right there on the edge, and they're in the future. Um, what is relaxation? Okay, what is relaxation now? What was relaxation? Okay, what did you see it as relaxing? How has that changed? What was relaxation 50, 100, 1,000 years ago? Um, we got things like movies, music, TV shows, video games, YouTube, reading, whatever. And these tend to be in the moment. These things are relaxation is in the moment um, type of phenomena. So if we Google, all right, let's just do a little exercise here. If we Google stress and look at the images here, you're gonna notice that there's a similar occurrence going on here. Is that hands up? Hands up. Hands are always up, right? Very interesting concept here. Hands up. Hands up. Hands up. White collar. It's very all business white collar work. Basically all of it is white collar stuff. It's very interesting to see. So let's look at fear. All right. Oh, hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up. You got dilated pupils. Hands up, hands up. Black and white. Very black and white images here. Very dark. Pretty typical. But if you notice certain things, certain trends, and certain similarities, it's very interesting. So let's Google relax, right? Oh, right. Oh, beaches. There's all beaches, right? It's all about the beaches. Beaches, yes. Oh, gotta get my manicure, and oh my God, wow. You gotta. Oh yes, this yoga pose. Yes, that's relaxing, right? Gotta go to the beach, right? You gotta go to the beach to relax. You got to take a vacation, right? You have to take time off from your real life to relax, right? You got to go on vacation. This concept of vacation, wherever that came from. Um, Homeostasis is changing. What we see is like a typical everyday situation, as your body's normal operation. It's changing, especially when you see the things like caffeine and other stimulants, drugs that affect the nervous system, being put into everything. You got 5 Hour Energy, you got Red Bull, all these energy drinks, and coffee, 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 coffee. And then mix those along with societal phenomena changes like I said, the retirement savings, extreme independence. But the thing is, though, people aren't really, they seem like they're independent, but actually they're some of the least independent people on the planet when you look at it, because they require, unless it's a person that's a hermit living on their own farm or something. I'm talking about these like independent women that don't need anybody, or these even men. It doesn't matter, but I'm just stereotyping, but still, these people they need everything. They need everything because they don't typically they don't produce anything significant into society. They don't create food. They don't farm. They don't do anything that contributes to the existence of people. And you don't need to be you don't need accounting for humanity to exist or flourish at all. Okay, you don't need to be you know you don't need to be a marketer to that's ugh. Anyways, the methods for relaxation are not the same. That you look at video games, movies. They're all so many of them very violent, scary, warlike, And then you look at stuff like music, especially rap. Rap is a major offender of this, big time offender, disgusting music, really. And then just books too, news, right? The 5 o'clock news, or 7 o'clock news, 6 o'clock news, 60 Minutes. You have these shows, but what are they showing though? What are they showing? That puts you into a certain state. That puts you in a certain being of your body. Your body responds to these things when you see them. It's a feedback system. It's programming. It's television programming. Okay, news is probably the top offender of that. One result is that's being claimed here is this paranoia of like this new survivalist and prepper mindset, right? These this type of mindset that's placed on a certain type of person that wants to be ready for when things might happen. They're putting this definition on to people. So basically, it's a what's being claimed is a paranoia and like a looming weight for everything to self-destruct, economic, socio-economic collapse, war, natural disasters, etc. My argument for this is that the mindset in the first place is wrong. There is no such thing as a survivalist or prepper. The only thing that exists is people storing food and having the tools to use when the other means that they're used to aren't available. That's all that really exists there. So instead of being a prepared person, now you're a survivalist or you're a prepper. There's and that has a predisposed connotation to it. As being like when you hear someone being called a conspiracy theorist, that fills in a certain type of person, right? You're a conspiracy theorist. So when someone says a survivalist, there's a predisposed type of notions that are put onto that. So where people have on average only 3 days of food in their homes and no means of acquiring food around them, like these people are like, they call other people out for you're being a survivalist and paranoid. It's no, they're just being intelligent. They're not. I will admit that there are people that go above and beyond it by having like a million guns and way too much, where their whole life is basically consumed by this. But that's also a part of the programming and brainwashing, like Alex Jones stuff and all this fear mongering. Okay, that's why that survivalist conspiracy theorist type of connection that is connected there. Okay, that connection was made on purpose. Okay, this needs to be understood by everybody that really is in the conspiracy theory realm type of stuff, is that these things they're combined on purpose as to attach more lunacy onto these things. Okay, it's just all it is just notions that these people are crazy in some way. What I want to get across is for people to understand that the systems have been put into place from medical, entertainment, scientific, political, economic, and cultural industries. Yeah, culture is an industry, believe it or not. It's actually really fucking weird. They're manufactured and directed to keep us in fear, stress, on edge, materialistic, non-spiritual, atheistic slavery. So what can we do about this? Yeah, see, this is like the prepper type of idea, right? This guy that's like a video game character. Diet and exercise. This is the number one thing that you can do about it. This is the largest culprit in today's increased resting heart rate phenomena. Produces body's natural hormones that promotes parasympathetic response. The risk-reward hormone, dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins being released in the way that humans were designed to in nature. Mental and spiritual. Learn about new things. Learn the opposite of those things. Be an antagonist and protagonist of yourself, not others. Learn discipline. Learn strategy. Discovering that the more you know, the less you do know. Learn critical thinking skills. If that, then this. This, then that. If that, then this. Why this? Etc. Just critical thinking. Finding truth will set you free from the chains that are keeping us closed off from the greater knowledge of the world. Alright, next video. Okay, so I was gonna make this into 2 videos, but I just decided to combine it all in a Windows Media Player and just make one video out of it. So I'm just gonna go over some other things that I kind of skimmed over real quick. The so like the prepper, right? Like I hope I got that point across kind of well. Is that like there's this uh, a mentality out there of what this survivalist thing is, and there's, I've mentioned one of the guys that's very guilty of promoting this fear mongering, in the movies, okay, television, they promote this stuff. You see like Walking Dead, and it's there's a difference between a person who prepares just to be prepared because we don't know the future, do we? But then there's also the person who is a toxic type that has been brainwashed. Okay, that's the point. That these people aren't guilty. It's just that they're they've been conditioned to think that they should be in fear and that we're out for one another. Okay, um, so yeah, there's that. Um, so uh, mental and spiritual. Just to go over this one again, or the diet and exercise. Um, Really, it's just about eating a healthy diet. You don't need to be vegetarian. You don't need to be, uh, you know, lacto vegetarian. You don't need to be a meat. You can be vegan, whatever. As long as you're getting the right amount of nutrients, okay. And the necessary nutrients for a human body is fat, carbs, protein, vitamins, minerals, and water. Okay, as long as you're getting all of those nutrients, then you're fine. And of course, there's like a bunch of different vitamins and minerals that you need, but just you can just look it up, you know, and make sure that you're getting a good amount, and you have a varied diet, and that you're eating healthy. I'm not talking. Plant based is always the best. Plant based everything is always the best. Mental and spiritual. Spirituality really, I think it follows the mental, because everything really follows the mind afterwards. The mind always comes first. You have to learn about something. You have to like conceive it before it's actually implemented. Now, I mean, that can be deduced like way. That can be broken down way, way, way a lot. But on just general terms, without getting way philosophical, that's pretty much what it is. So, and even when it's broken down, it's still mental. So it doesn't really matter. Everything, all is mental. So, um, and the thing is, I've said in one of my videos before that I actually think that a lot of these people are dead. That they have no spirit, like these zombies. These people um, that don't know anything, that they can't learn anything, that they're willfully ignorant, and that they close themselves off, or they're just blatantly stupid, and they just cannot learn. I think that these people are basically zombies, and I think because of they can't put one and one together, that they don't a lot of them don't have spirit. That they're just kind of these wandering entities that just that just go along with whatever the flow is, whatever is presented to them. That's what they know, and that's all they will ever know. Um, and it's really up to the people who do have a spirit to give it to them. So, and the most important thing about this is knowing thyself. So let me just share this clip. I'm sure all of you know what this is.
Do you think you are the one? You know what that means? It's Latin. Means know thyself. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Being the one is just like being in love. No one can tell you you're in love, you just know it. Through and through. Balls to bones.
Okay, you need to learn about yourself, and that's something that no one really ever does. No one does reflection. No one reflects on themselves. That's why I say you should be an antagonist and protagonist of yourself. You should be you, and then you should also be an anti-you, so that way those two polarities, they can meet in the middle, and then you can find the middle path. You can find where the truth is in that middle path. Okay, that is fundamental. That is the key to transcending, is understanding that middle path, the one extreme versus the other extreme, and finding that middle ground. Um, Very important for someone to learn about themselves. Um, that is that is so important. No one does that. No one reflects anymore. And the last part was love and interpersonal relationships. Know thyself first. Know yourself first, and then find others that, once you find that essence that is you, then find others that are like you and love them like yourself, like you've learned to love yourself, how you've learned who you are, and that intrinsically you will love yourself when that happens. And then do unto them as you've done unto yourself. All right. Not, you know, forcing anything, but, you know, teaching them the principles that you've learned, and not, and also just being you. Just being you is really, and a lot of people say that, but the thing is, like I said, people don't really know who they are. All they really know is just like surface. They know everything on the surface, and that's about it. Um, it's very simple, and perhaps the most basic concepts in human mental states. You're born to love. All right, you're born. People are born with that level of understanding and mental state of love and wanting to care for things. But we're brainwashed into hate. Born to love, brainwashed to hate. I'm gonna put a copyright on this and sue everybody that says this. But no, I'm just joking. But born to love, brainwashed to hate. I'm sure someone else has said that, but I kind of like this. I just came up with it, and it's pretty cool. It makes sense. I mean, it's true. We are brainwashed, all that stuff. So it's all, and that's that prepper thing. This extreme independence. It's all runs together with this parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous systems. We are running on adrenaline all the time. We're running on caffeine. Our sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight. The whole system is designed to to make us be like that. That is the whole system. It's being made to make us like this. But then you look at the people that are up high, and they don't have to worry about that stuff. Okay, it's all by design. Um, so just if you can, I just want to get this out there because it's also for me too. Like it's for me also. It's not. I'm not just putting these things out there just for. Oh, I want to be like a cool guy or whatever. I'm also doing it for me. You know, um, because when I do it for me, I also find the other people that are like me. That understand me as well. So it's almost like a reflection exercise by doing these things. So diet and exercise, please be healthy, people. If you're watching this, that means that you're an important person. That you understand certain things that not a lot of people understand. Mental and spiritual, and love and interpersonal relationships. But just number one, just diet and exercise. All right, so I've been going on long enough. And remember, if these videos are too long for some people to watch, just put it in like 1.5x speed, and it goes by pretty quick or whatever. And so yeah. All right, thanks everybody.